would want me to watch him with another girl.
Stop, make it drop, that's the wreck.
Guardar silencio y dejar que las cosas sucedan.
He never accepts responsibility for anything you've ever done.
Wake up. You're not dreaming. Big Ed and Liz are back. I know. You can cry with me. I don't know what happened. I just woke up today and I saw that they're on the new season of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, which I didn't even know was a thing. Apparently they had 7 seasons. I didn't even watch the first one. But Big Ed and Liz are now on the 7th season and they're going to be examined. And are they going to be together? Are they not? Are they happy? More drama ensues. But upon knowing this, I had to revisit them because I genuinely forgot about those two. I forgot they got married. I forgot they even had that spat. I forgot they got back together. They're like one of the most toxic couples that I've ever seen. And initially, I'm sure everybody thought that when Ed and Liz were together, Liz was like doing some weird injustice to herself. Now, people are beginning to not like Liz. I've actually looked at some articles and it says why people don't like Liz Brown. So with the next season starting soon in August, I thought it would be a good idea to take a look and see what Big Ed and Liz are up to. I've actually found an extra secret tell-all that they didn't air but randomly aired now to try and build hype. I don't know what Sean is doing, but I found it and now I'm gonna watch it. And I wanted to take a look at the new season and how it might look. Before we start the video though, if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. We're on our way to more than we last had. Couple of things. I am a little sick. In the interest of being very honest with you, as I normally am to anybody who watches this, I've had a very tough day today. Some horrible family news has happened and it's taking everything within me to film this. But this is where I want to be for the next few hours and thank you for enjoying it with me. My Instagram's sixteenleo_ if you want to say anything. But yeah, okay. Let's take a look at where we last left off. This is one of Liz's latest videos, and it shows her dancing very sensual, like in a burlesque sort of way. I'm not sure if it's sexy or just insulting that she moves her neck really in ways that I know her partner just cannot. Like the way she's whooping her hair. I know Big Ed's looking at it on one hand being like, that's sexy. And on the other hand being like, you bitch. I can't do that. Well, you know, all power to Liz. That seems like a good cardio workout, I gotta say. Let's see what Big Ed is up to on his channel. Yeah, all right. I mean, he busted it open. I didn't know that he could do that. It was like a porn star. It's okay. All right. I'm not really sure what this relationship is, but they're both very, very sexual creatures. In fact, when they're apart, both of them are just doing air sexy dances. But when they're together, they're even more disgusting. I'm sorry, I just have to say it, but I found a picture of them that says 90 Day Fiancé. Big Ed puts hand down fiancé Liz's pants at rodeo. And when you look at the picture, he's got his hand in her ass. Well, in her jeans, rubbing that ass. TMZ obtained these photos of the 90 Day Fiancé star and his bride-to-be Liz at a rodeo near San Diego. And as you can see, Big Ed has his mitt halfway down his girl's pants. That is just, you know, to people who don't understand, it's like, that is a very amazing bond between a father and daughter, I gotta say. She looks really uncomfortable, and I gotta say, if I was sitting down and someone had their hand like in my ass, I'd be like, can you not? Please. I want to thank Extra for sponsoring today's video. Extra is the first debit card that lets you build your credit while avoiding many of the traps that can come with having a credit card. With Extra, you can connect your bank account, and then when you swipe your Extra card, they will spot you the funds for that purchase and pay themselves back the next business day. At the end of the month, they add up all the transactions, then they report them to the credit bureau as credit-worthy payments. So this allows Extra users to build credit with zero interest. A good credit score can save you a bunch of money when it comes to the big purchases like buying a new car or a house. That's because people with good credit get better interest rates, which ultimately have a big effect on your costs. Nobody likes paying more than they have to. So it's always a good idea to build good credit because you never know when you'll need it. So sign up for Extra with the link in my description and start building your credit with a debit card. Yes, a debit card. You'll be directly helping my channel while building credit. It bamboozles me that they're still together. On the other hand, maybe they are enough for each other. Because Liz definitely has a weird track record with guys, and Big Ed is a very weird guy. It seems like a match made in hell. So it's 2022, they're about to start their happily ever after saga, and we are now looking at the last thing that they said before partaking on this journey. As of now, I think they're still together and hopefully everything's good. Of course, I want them to succeed in their marriage, but let's not lie and say this is a textbook marriage. Let's not lie and say they have the greatest relationship. I think a lot of what they do is very laughable or cringy. I'm sorry, but that's just true.
You are my forever.
This is just a recap. He says, "You are my forever," something I always say to the person who serves me at Subway.
Moving on to Ed.
So this is a tell-all that happened a while ago, but it's actually a newly released tell-all, even though it was filmed a while back. They released it as like a secret footage thing, and they didn't tell anybody about it, and I just discovered it by looking. It doesn't say new episode, it doesn't say anything new. I had to search it up, I found it, and I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me? And it says never released before footage, and this is what I got from that. I am excited. This is the first time I'm seeing it. I'm gonna react to it cold. Let's watch.
Ed and Liz are now in a happy relationship, but before they reconnected, Ed's journey for love took him far from home when his friend Laura set him up.
So I'm gonna stop you right here.
Oh, we just started actually, but all right. If you do remember on my channel, if you'd like to watch any of the Big Ed stuff, it's a wild series. He did date a girl called Cowrie, and she was not from around here. She was not from good old America, and Big Ed had to travel. And he traveled, and then after realizing she wasn't it, he went back to Liz. As you know, the best relationships are always when you date someone else and you go back to your ex.
I have no interest in seeing any part of the single life too. I don't need to see him with another girl.
Oh, okay. Well, Liz is now turning into Toxicity Island. Okay, then. I don't know what just happened. I just started this video and Liz is already, I don't need to see my man with another man. You see this round blob? This is mine. I don't care about anybody else with him. She is really protective over this man. That is news.
That's called denial.
It's not denial.
It is
I don't need
denial.
to.
You need to watch it and see what he did.
No, I don't.
Hey, it's Debbie, my favorite old frog lady. She's always there, and I love the fact that she is the biggest shitster I've ever seen. She's just never not making problems. I've never seen her not cause problems. Her husband literally left the earth because he's like, I can't be with her. He left her a slot machine because she gambled away his life. I'm sorry. I was very mean today. I'm sorry about that.
You told Liz about
Correct.
the other women that you have gone out with.
Absolutely. That I never was physical or emotionally attached to them whatsoever.
Why do you want me to watch him with another girl?
No wonder they didn't air this. I've never seen someone come for the host before. Okay. She did the thing. She did the hands when Liz gets mad. Why do you even want to talk about it? What? No, don't put food on there. She always does that. And I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to defend my girl Sean, because I always will. Sean is just a host, firstly. Secondly, it's a dating show. It's called 90 Day Fiancé. What do you mean? He's dated a lot of people before you, Liz. He's also 50 years old. He also had a marriage and a kid. What are you talking about, Liz? How do you not know this man's done that? What are you gonna repress it from the head that he's even done that? Every time his kid comes over, you're like, who have you been sleeping with to have that child? Every time? What are you, Drew Barrymore from 50 First Dates? What is wrong with you?
Well, as soon as you get your own talk show, you can ask me that question.
That's the one. The one time Sean actually talks back is when someone talks to her. I didn't know she could snap like that. Good on you.
Don't want to see him with another girl. It will hurt me. So I'm not going to apologize that I don't want to see a clip.
By the way, I'm very well aware that if you're in love and all that stuff, you wouldn't want to see someone date someone else. But at the same time, if it happened before you, or it happened like before the knowledge of you or something like that, it happened. You may not want to see it, but you're also on a reality TV show where the whole goal of the show is to explore these things. If you were on Home Improvement and they showed you a relationship of your ex-partner getting railed, I would be on your side. I'd be like, is this improving my home or destroying my life? This is a reality television show in which this happens every day. Every day, bro, with dating other people, yo. England's my city.
Okay, Liz, you can excuse yourself.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
I respect you, baby.
I did not know she was so protective over this man. You would think that this is her little child, her little bubble boy or something. Oh, don't look at it, Ed. But at the same time, she's like, nobody's getting my man. It's weird when you think about it. Big Ed doesn't have a great track record in dating. I mean, you don't have to worry about your man is all I'm saying. It's not Idris Elba.
Oh, my God.
So with that, Liz walks off the set. Everyone just keeps walking off the set. The set might as well not even be a set. Everyone just walks in and out as they please, like it's Seinfeld's house. She's not happy with the idea that Big Ed has ever dated a girl other than her, even though when she started dating him, she was just sickened at the idea that he would even date anyone, full stop.
You know, he was single, he can do what he wants to do when he's single, and why can't we just be happy? I can guarantee you he would not want to see me with another guy.
Oh, he probably wouldn't want to see. He probably wouldn't want to hear you with another guy. He'd probably die. I know Big Ed's jealous tendencies and his insecurities stem pretty deep, so I understand that. In a healthy relationship, you probably at some point would have to explore those topics. I might be wrong, just by the way, but I would say, in my personal opinion, if I'm dating someone, I'd like to explore that and talk about it so that it never becomes an issue in the future, because it might be brought up and then you might have a fight over nothing. So I don't know if like avoiding it at all costs is the way to go.
Kaori. Her name was hard to pronounce. She might be into me. I mean, I'm definitely feeling a connection with her.
Yeah, I remember Kaori. She used to like do this stuff to him and like treat him like he's a big lump. Cole, she always looked like his friend more than his lover. I gotta be honest with you. That one really never got to me. I really didn't understand that relationship. He did have it. I'm also realizing and trying to forget that Big Ed has a tattoo of his face on his leg. That's like getting my name tatted on my own ass.
We've only had a couple days together. I feel a connection. But how do you feel about me, Edward, Eddie?
Si no puedes guardar silencio y dejar que las cosas sucedan.
Oh yes, I remember this part too, when he just kept naming different versions of himself. Edward, Eddie, Ed, Big E, the DDD, the big necklace, the next in line, the who's next, the 4'11" man from heaven, the big chulo, chupacabra papa. At this point, I'm running out of names. The hairy hedgehog.
Decided I want love. I want marriage.
You are very insistente.
Oh my God, I forgot that he wanted to marry her within like 2 days of meeting her. Yeah. Hey man, I mean, when you know, right? I would say 4 months is what it takes to know. But that's 90 Day Fiance plus a month. 90 days is probably too soon.
I want to bring in Kaori so she can talk about what went wrong and how Ed can avoid making these same mistakes with Liz.
That was a really funny reaction. How Ed can not make the same mistake with Liz. What is that? What do you think it means? Please tell me down below. Anyway, Sean brings out Kaori, Ed's old flame, and Liz comes back to sit in and listen to this.
Hola.
You are joining us remotely from Mexico.
¿Cómo estás? Bien.
Okay, and we've been rejoined by Liz.
Yeah.
I like how they build up the music every time. They build it up like it's so suspenseful, and they'll put like a little image of like Kaori being like, he's got another woman? And it's like, she didn't at all react like that. She was just like, it's some girl sitting next to him. But the music and everything and the zooms and slow motions will have you think that there's some real shit going on. This is reality TV 101. They just manufacture conflict. I just don't understand why Liz got inside a business where she doesn't want to have conflict, because she's genuinely the perfect reality TV star is someone who doesn't want conflict and then starts conflict because they don't want conflict. Because reality TV is conflict. So this is just like an endless cycle. You're like a hamster on the hamster wheel at this point, Liz. I don't even know. I think Big Ed is handling it better. And I don't think I've ever said that.
Liz, were you listening backstage? And
No, I made it very clear. I don't want to see nothing.
oh, well, you
This is fine.
okay, fine, seeing her.
Liz is also like half his age. I don't know who I'm saying that to. I think everyone here knows that now, but Kaori is closer to Ed's age. Makes you wonder what he has that a man of 28, 29 doesn't have for Liz. Probably his giant dong. That's the only thing that I can think of.
This is my fiance, Liz.
Hola, Liz.
How are
Nice
you?
to meet you, Liz.
Nice to meet you.
Kaori, were you physically attracted to Ed?
No, físicamente.
Okay, well, that's a mic drop, right? She didn't even hesitate. The only time difference of her saying no was to get the translation. And I'm pretty sure she knew it in English too. She was like, no? No, in also Spanish. Nada, motherfucker. I wasn't attracted to him at all. What are you talking about? He looks like a bull.
I've never heard that before.
But you yourself have talked about being frustrated that what you thought a woman was sending you in terms of signals was not actually what she was sending
He
you.
doesn't pay attention to the signals at all.
Thanks, Debbie. I really appreciate you. You came from 1918. Your signals were like literal hand signals at the time. I think it's a bit different. Okay, I'm not taking Big Ed's side, but sometimes it is hard when girls, especially on social media, send signals and you don't know what the hell they're saying, and they're like, "I expect you to know," and you don't. And Big Ed's 50. He doesn't know. This man is doing cameos twerking. Okay? He thinks people want to see him as Cardi B. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. So somebody needs to help this old fart, because otherwise he's going to send pics to the wrong person.
After our first date, I get a call from Laura, and Laura tells me that you need to make your move.
If friends give information to you, it's not always pointing at others, but really looking at yourself. Like, hey, wait, I had a connection with her and I am responsible for that.
I've
Even
accepted
today.
6 months of responsibility. That's why I went to therapy.
That's not really why necessarily. You know, this is back to the mini lad situation. Just because you go to therapy, it doesn't mean you actually accept responsibility for your actions. I'm going to therapy, everything's okay. Can you imagine? R. Kelly? Yeah, I'm going to therapy. Oh, well shit, just drop the sentence, bro. Well, you had a sex dungeon, invite me over next time, G. When you're done with therapy, let's see what happens. Can you imagine if that's how things work? Yes, sir. I know I killed those people, but I'm going to therapy now. And everyone's like, what a good guy.
Okay, Ed, is there anything left that you'd like to say?
Just wish you the best, and I hope you find love.
We wish you the very best.
Gracias a ustedes.
Yes, okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Jesse.
Big Ed wishes her love and prosperity, and she says thank you. It honestly wasn't the worst interaction in terms of Big Ed and everything else. You know, let's be mature about the situation. Sometimes you just go and you meet someone and it doesn't work out. It just doesn't. And that's okay. It's just you trying to find your way in life. That was just one of those things to happen. It doesn't mean that people need to hate each other or be mean or spiteful. It just didn't work out. So I think that was a decent interaction, all things considered. And Liz really didn't have much to say there.
What I see from those dates is you fall in love pretty quickly. You say, like, from the moment you see them, you have an instant connection. Do you recognize what she says is that it's like filling a void? Or are you actually feeling in love with these women?
God damn, I don't know who that dude in the suit was. That's some real therapy right there. Is that filling a void? You saying you're in love because you fall in love so quickly? Are you just filling a void that is going to always open up because you don't actually have meaningful relationships, because you don't put in the work to have those meaningful relationships? You just want a temporary full of that void because it's easier than putting in the work and actually having it filled up for real? This is a good show, I gotta say. Colt shut the hell up. Everyone else didn't talk. Debbie only said 2 things. And they got that weird Swedish guy really talking up a storm. PewDiePie over there is really doing well.
It is evolving, just backwards.
I think it's a little bit of both. Everybody's afraid of being alone. You know, we're looking for that fill. I probably do rush and fall in love too quickly.
If it wasn't Liz coming to the doorbell and showing you that affection, would have you went with whoever was at the doorbell? Or was it just because it was her at the time?
Okay, that's Singen, I think, and he's South African, so he asked it in the most South African way possible. He's like a caveman, really. What he meant to say was, if anybody else had come to the door and said the exact same thing, would you say the same thing? Would you fall in love with anybody because they're showing you attention? And I genuinely think he has a point. If it wasn't Liz, it probably would be someone else. Because this man really has tried. He tried to get married to Rose, he tried to get married to Kaori, he tried to get married to that one girl he dated who hated him. He's balls deep. He's balls to the wall, as his daughter says. She literally said that, by the way. She said, you're always balls to the wall, which is something, as a daughter, I think it's just very sexy to say to your dad. I mean, wow. But that's true. Big Ed always falls in love way too quickly. And that's the thing people have been concerned about. Like, he fell in love with Liz so fast, almost too fast. They broke up, and now they're engaged, even though the problem was they were moving too fast. So, is this gonna last?
Honestly, I didn't think I would ever find love again. The way I knew that Liz was the one for me was she was a void I couldn't fill. It's just different.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not the most poignant word. She's a void that I couldn't fill. It's just different. Doesn't really necessarily mean all that much, but I think I know what he's saying. I guess he really likes this woman and he can't go on without her. I don't know what he's saying, bro. Man says a lot of things. He puts mayo in his hair. I don't really know the way he operates.
Do you fully trust Ed?
I do now.
Have we set an exact date for the wedding?
We just got back together, but yeah, I do want to eventually start planning.
Well, the last thing Liz says is that Big Ed is listening and a lot better, and he is a functioning human male, not just a ragdoll anymore. I hope that they get married in the next season, and that is how the tell-all ends. There's only one more thing left to watch, and that is the snippet that they showed that will premiere in August when we actually watch together the series of Happily Ever After. Before we watch that, do you think Liz and Big Ed are going to be together? Or do you think they're a toxic couple? I'll tell you my answer after. I really want to see the little trailer.
Right, ready?
Oh my God, no!
Since Ed and I got engaged.
I keep her on her toes.
Oh, he's got a Van Dyke. You guys know Van Dyke? It's when you don't have the front, or some people call it Lincoln. When you don't have the front and you don't have anything else, you just got the bottom there.
There's never a dull moment with Ed.
I'm tired of your dishonesty. She was physically all over you. Are you a lesbian?
That is not the last thing that I expected to hear from the series. I gotta be honest with you. I'm speechless. If you know what, they've sold me. If ever there's been a series that has sold me by one line, I never thought I'd hear two people engaged and one of them say, "Are you a lesbian?" That seems like a question that would come up before the engagement, honestly. But what was the question I asked before we ended this? Do you think Big Ed and Liz are good together? Well, I think that I'm gonna make the assessment that they're a pretty toxic couple, but sometimes the toxicity is so good that it works. Now, that is what my assessment of them are. If I was to go and watch the whole season of Happily Ever After, or whatever it's called, and at the end of it make a prediction, I think that they'll stay together, but not because they're so deeply connected and good to each other. It's because they're so toxic that every time they try to leave, they find their way back, and they're two toxic people who live in their toxic vats, trying to live in their toxic world. You know what I mean? It's just two people who cannot coexist with other people and need to coexist with each other because their toxicity is okay to one another, because they're like, yeah, you hurt me, I hurt you, it's good. And that's a really bad type of relationship because they call it a codependent relationship. It's when you can't do anything without the other person. See, Big Ed said it himself. He said this woman left a void that he couldn't fill. He needed her to exist. And I think the best type of relationship is when you don't need someone else. You want them because you make space in your life for them. I think if you really have a relationship that's got longevity and something that's fully gonna last, you have to show the other person respect, compassion, and have good communication. I really think that those are the best ways to treat someone. All of these traits, all of these fears and insecurities, they cannot be swept under the rug. They need to be talked about. And you have to trust your partner enough to be able to talk through those things and not hold on to them because they might cause something at the end of it. That's really all I'm trying to say. And I don't think Big Ed and Liz really have that level of communication. I think they sweep a lot of things under the rug. And as gross as this sounds, I think their sensual activities really make up for a lot of their toxicity. Can't believe I imagined it. At the end of the day, these two are a hot mess. And just like everyone else, I am waiting to see how it goes down. That is all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for watching the video. Once again, I don't know how to express how much it means to me that you are watching this. It has been one of the low days that I've experienced, and I don't know if you could tell, it's been tough. So for any of you to give your time to me, thank you. I'd just like to shout out T for being there for me. The best. Thank you, everybody. See you later. Love you guys. Take care.